Good afternoon, friends. Stephen and Yana Benoon here with S&J Chat, and it is February the 18th, 2026. We've got several very important things to share with you today, and I'm just going to kind of go over that real quick with you. Our first thing that we're going to be sharing with you here is the trailer from the movie that has just come out, The Voice of Hin Rajab. And this is a very heartbreaking story that happened there in Gaza at the beginning of the war. We're going to also be going into the alleged 40 babies that were beheaded on October the 7th and what seemed to justify Israel's onslaught and the Israeli people jumping right in there with Netanyahu and his military to go in there and just slaughter the innocents of Palestinians. We'll also be looking at the soldiers that have participated in this and other wars there and the effect that it has had on them in Israel. One of the highest suicide rates in all of history of military service there. And they're making it very clear why. It's because of what they have done to Palestinians. So, uh, get ready. This first video that we're going to share, this clip here, it is not graphic, but it is very heart wrenching to listen to. It is very difficult. So I just want to warn you ahead of time there. This is the trailer. It's 2 minutes long. I'm going to play it uninterrupted. There's subtitles on there that's also dubbed in English as well, but I prefer it just in the Arabic language there with the subtitles. The voice of the child in the movie is the real child that was trapped in the car when they shot her car 355 times. Let's listen in.
بدك انت تغطيه وما تحاول ما تنزفيش، يعني حاولي انك تسكري الجرم.
تمام، السيارة جاية.
الو، طوارئ الهلال الاحمر رام الله الضفه الغربيه، عمر معك، تفضل. الو. شو اسمك انت؟
حمادة. كنا دم أمام بنتي. ماما غيرت حالي.
مهدي، احتمال احتاج سيارة اسعاف.
عمر حبيبي، احنا مجبورين نأمن له مسلك آمن.
اذا ما فيش معها وقت.
انت فقط انت معي. تعال.
شايف هدول يا شاب؟ خسرناهم كلهم.
8 دقايق مو متكلفون حياتهم اذا ما عملناش التنسيق. وعمار
They are shooting at a car with a little girl inside. Can you imagine that? So do something.
يستطيعون.
انت في التمهيدي؟
في إيده وفوق مرافق.
هند، انا جايين ناخدك احنا.
كنا دم أمام بنتي. أنا بكون موجودة عند عينينا.
بس لسه في فضا، لسه معنا وقت.
That is probably the hardest thing that I've listened to today when I first listened to it. I mean, it just really tore through my heart. I realized that the car, they still have the car, and maybe, Anna, maybe I can even show that to you here. The when they show this little girl what happened to her or the car, 355 bullets, if I've got that right. And by the way, this is I think she's the director of the film. She had won an award at the Berlin Film Festival for this film. She refused to take the award because they were honoring an Israeli general at the same event, and she said, "I will not accept an award when there's no justice." She said there's not even right to do an award. Let me just put the car real quick on here. But Israelis, they talk about, that's where they did this recently too, and I did not realize at the time when I saw this, I remembered seeing this where they were saying to remember her. And this is not the actual car, but they actually do have the real car, and they show the images of that car and all the bullet holes that were in the car. It's just there.
Is that it?
I think this
Yeah,
is it here.
that's it.
Yes, and and they just kept shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting. Now, Hind Rajib,
Was Hamas in the car?
I don't think so. I think it
He
was
was
just her
under
family.
the car.
Oh, that's what it is, right? He was under the car, right?
I just thought I don't have words, Steve. I
Yeah,
just don't because that's what they say that they have to blow up schools and hospitals because Hamas is there.
yeah. It's
You know,
sickening. It's
it
sickening
is,
to
and
think
the
what they
people
do.
believe it. That's more sickening.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? They claim 40 Israeli babies were beheaded, and we know this is all false to begin with.
Well, what
But
I want to say with this, Steve, is this is the excuse why they can do these atrocities because when October 7 happened, they came up with propaganda, lies, and manipulation.
yeah,
And they targeted emotions of people and especially women
yes,
because they said, oh, 40 babies dead. This particular woman there who's a reporter, okay, look at the horror scenes at kibbutz liberated from Hamas, and when you play it you will see these calm soldiers, nothing is happening. I'm not kidding
yeah.
you. And
Let's
they
play
call
it.
it horror scenes. And then later on, all these news comes out that 40 babies were beheaded, and it was repeated over and over on every news station by Netanyahu, by all the Zionist pastors. And now they had a green light to go and kill Palestinian children,
Yeah,
you see.
and
And then what did we find out? The
that it's not true.
40 babies report was complete lie.
You know, and here's the thing. People say, they'll say, well, don't you condemn Hamas? I condemn Netanyahu and his government for standing down for 6 to 8 hours and doing nothing for the innocent Israelis that did die.
Hamas and Netanyahu are friends.
Exactly.
They
You
are
know,
friends. That Netanyahu finances Hamas.
yes.
You tell me that they have all this technology that they can control you, what you say, spy on you, but they cannot find Hamas on the hospital. Oh, he's under the car. We gotta put 500 bullets in a car. Oh no, he's under this school. He's in the school. We gotta blow up the whole school with children in it. I mean, don't you see that this is just propaganda, manipulation, and complete lies? And then they laugh at you how stupid you are to believe this.
Yeah.
So no, play that little bit. Horror scenes at kibbutz, and you will
Okay.
see that. Just let's see it.
Moving through the community. It's starting to exit now, but I want to show you just some of the destruction to these houses as well, because as I showed you, all of the destruction that these terrorists committed on foot as they bombarded and massacred this community. There were also air raids and rockets happening overhead, completely taking out buildings like this one. So it was really a mixture of everything happening on the ground and in the sky as well, completely devastating this community.
Okay.
So what you will see here, compare this with Gaza.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, it's not only that though. A lot of times, the most of the destruction that was done to these buildings was from tank shells. It was the Hannibal doctrine. It wasn't Hamas running around blowing up
No, it was
buildings.
Israelis doing this. If you continue this report, you will see how calm the soldiers are. Nothing is happening.
Exactly.
Community, truly horrific images that we're seeing. Now, as we're leaving the community, you can see all of these soldiers here. As I said, so many of them called from their homes, jumping into action at a moment's notice. Many of these reservists leaving all of their families behind to be here to protect Israel's southern border, less than a quarter of a mile away. We continue to hear loud artillery and shelling in the distance at the Gaza border as we're walking out. So really, all of these soldiers are doing their best to protect us, the journalists who are also out here, because they want us to see exactly what's happening. And
You know what I find interesting is what you said too, Yana. They're just sitting around, no big deal.
Oh, but the horror images, and it's catastrophic what we see here. And they left their families at the last minute, and they're all protecting us. Here, the journalists are all protecting. Look what they're doing, standing there. Nothing is happening. All buildings are intact. Nothing is happening. What kind of report is
Let me
this? This is
explain,
a complete
but let me
theater.
explain something from firsthand. And on September 22nd, 2004, when I was up near French Hill and the girl that blew herself up,
Hmm.
when those soldiers descended on that area within minutes, it was like bees swarming everywhere. They were searching, they were looking for other accomplices. Everybody was doing something. It was constant moving. You didn't have soldiers sitting around. And we had police, we had soldiers, we had Secret Service people running around in their plain clothes with their
Because
guns
it was
ready
a
to
real
go
event.
because it was a real
But
event.
look at
And it
this.
was, and nowhere did you get any kind of somewhat, even there was no casual scene the entire time,
Hmm.
and then when I look at this is nothing like what I saw in 2004.
Yes. So horror scenes you just seen from,
And I
Gaza.
and I don't say that there, I mean, there was a horror scene, but it was, as I have said, and too many people, uh, uh,
Premeditated.
Mitrachi
Right.
says it's an inside job.
Yes.
Jonathan Pollard says a friend of his was in the helicopter, had a stand down order for 6 hours. I got an email from a good friend in Israel the very next morning with the former IDF assigned to that very battalion there, Sederot there, that said he gave me the complete story. Oh, it was a stand down job.
Mhm.
So it's, Israel is responsible for the massacre of their own people so that they could justify killing the Palestinians.
So they can ethnically cleanse them. So Jared Kushner can build skyscrapers and AI centers,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So over here, Biden reportedly ignored staff caution on beheaded Israeli babies because it actually was proven false. If you go to the next one, we'll return to that one. You will note that one here, not previous. Okay, it says October 2023 was reported that Israel's claim 40 babies were beheaded has no evidence. It was a complete lie. Nothing like that ever happened. Okay, it just gave them excuse to go kill Palestinians and ethnically cleanse them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back now. And there was a report. Biden lied and lied and lied, despite they told him don't say that anymore because it's not true. That he kept saying it. And he even lied that he himself saw the pictures of this.
Yes.
They don't exist. So now here you go. Does it matter whether you're Republican or Democrat? No, it doesn't. This is all theater for you to divide you, the people. Okay, so when you watch this, did Hamas behead babies? This little report explains how all of this came about.
Okay, let's look at this.
Mhm.
Fact check. Did Hamas behead babies? Let's look at what we know so far about where this claim came from and why some media outlets and the White House have retracted the claim. On Saturday, October 7th, Hamas attacked the kibbutz of Kfar Aza. Members of the media were granted permission on October 10th, 3 days later, by the Israeli army to visit Kfar Aza and witness the aftermath of the Hamas attack. During the visit, a reporter from Israeli news outlet I-24 tweeted saying, "Soldiers told me they believe 40 babies, children, were killed." As the day progressed, the information morphed from at least 40 babies were killed to some were beheaded. On the day, the Israeli army could not confirm beheadings. The very next day, in London, commuters were subjected to this horrifying and unverified headline. On October 11th, many Western media outlets jumped on that claim, quoting the spokesman of Israel's prime minister.
The Israeli prime minister's spokesman just confirmed babies and toddlers were found with their heads decapitated in Kfar Aza.
But many of those same media outlets were forced to walk back their reporting, issuing updates like this one. Israel cannot confirm the specific claim that babies were beheaded in Hamas attack. Later that day, during a press conference, American President Joe Biden claimed he had seen photographs of beheaded babies, saying,
I never really thought that I would see and have confirmed pictures of terrorists beheading children.
The White House later retracted the statement and published this correction. US official and the president have not seen pictures nor confirmed such reports independently, but the damage had been done. Biden's initial claims were already featured on the front pages of many news outlets and continued to be cited in some quarters as justification for revenge attacks and the collective punishment of civilians in Gaza. Once these claims went viral, other journalists who were on the same visit to Kfar Aza on the 10th of October say, no one spoke to me about beheadings, let alone beheadings of children, let alone beheadings of 40 children. Another Israeli journalist said, during the tour, we didn't see any evidence of this, and the army spokesperson or commanders also didn't mention any such incidents. Sky News correspondent on the ground also confirms not being able to confirm these claims.
We have not seen the evidence of that. We have asked the Israeli Defense Forces, the IDF, 3 times to confirm those numbers. They have not yet.
Later, the same journalist that broadcasted the claims of the spokesman of Israel's prime minister posted an apology, saying, the Israeli government now says today it cannot confirm babies were beheaded. I needed to be more careful with my words, and I am sorry. Hamas has denied claims that its fighters beheaded children, calling them lies. As details continue to emerge from the aftermath of the Kfar Aza attack, the line between facts and misinformation has blurred. Lies and half-truths have been disseminated by officials and mainstream media in what is becoming a propaganda war.
Can you believe that?
Yeah,
I mean,
I can.
I didn't even know that the Israeli government itself had also retracted the statement.
Yes, but first they kept saying it. Netanyahu did. And then, of course, all the Zionist pastors. I personally heard Paul Begley say that.
Oh my
He
God.
was saying to his
Yes, I
listeners,
remember him saying that.
we beheaded babies, you know. So this is what did they ever recheck? No, everybody
No.
forgot. And when I was doing research today, Steve, a lot of these reports now you go and it says it doesn't exist, 404 error. Like you can't find it because they're scrubbing it off the internet.
Oh yeah.
But they continue to kill babies in Palestine. Why? Because they got the green light from the Christians because 40 beheaded
Yes.
babies.
Yes.
You
Once you got that lie going, they don't care about it at that point.
Well,
Just let it snowball.
Right.
And this is why the Israeli people also backed it. Now, there were reports of charred and burned both children and adults as well, but we also discovered too that was done by the Israeli military when they were given the green light to use the Hannibal Doctrine, so that no one would be taken. I mean, we've got Israelis, and we'll do more reports on this because we don't have all that together.
Well, we did a live report around October 7. We were in Florida and we did a live report. You can just go to our, not now, but later. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have compiled all of this, how even the people on the beach were killed by Israelis. Israelis themselves were saying that when they were being killed, they realized it was their own that were killing them.
Yes.
So, this is the same situation as Holocaust, Steve, when we read this book, Holocaust Victims Accused.
Yes.
Or, or transfer agreement book, for example, where you find out that their own are the guilty party, the most guilty party.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mutasim Dalul, we've interviewed him twice so far. I've asked him to come on again. I just show him real quick here because he was putting out today, he is a Palestinian journalist there, that the first Ramadan without my son, Ibrahim, That's I think that's his son right here. He was actually in the background, I think, in one of the interviews that I did with him.
He's dead
And now
now?
he's dead. All three, these are his three sons. They're all dead, including his wife, as he says right here, and my beloved wife, Riham,
So they
also
killed all
has
of
died.
his
His
family.
entire family has been killed. I don't know
Yes.
if
We
Mutasim
interviewed
has
him.
done.
Can you show that a
Yes,
little bit of that interview?
right. And this, yeah,
And it
here
did
we,
not get enough views. It's almost like we get this Palestinian.
yeah, 4.9 thousand 9 months
That's
ago.
nothing.
And the reason being, I can tell you why too, especially then, the quality for, because they keep the cell phone towers shut down. They're just barely getting some of the Israeli towers. So it was very, very bad quality there. But let me just play a little clip here. He does have broken English, but we'll just play just a short 30
which is selling food or any food items at all. We have nothing here to eat. All aid used to enter into the Gaza Strip during the past month.
Just that short clip right there. He actually has shared a lot of very interesting information. Like also, he had brought out how that when they said, "Oh no, it's Hamas shooting at the people going to get food aid,"
Hmm.
and Mutasim says no. He says what they did is they took prisoners that Israelis had released. He said the worst of the worst prisoners that Gaza ever had put in prison. He said murderers, they hired them to fight against Hamas. He said they are the ones that are actually shooting at our people because he said they don't even care about us. So we learned some things there. I also wanted to share too. This one here, several. This is we're going to real quick look at a couple of things here. Mint Press put this out here. An Israeli that was in Gaza. He said, "I felt like a Nazi. It looked exactly like we were actually the Nazis and they were the Jews." An Israeli soldier speaking to Haaretz following his exit from Gaza. That was on in Haaretz newspaper there. But this is what's happening to the Israeli soldiers. Jan, I'm going to play two clips here. This guy and one other there that are suffering PTSD severely. The suicide rate amongst IDF is so high in Israel, like unbelievable. And you'll see here, and you can hear them crying out. This guy, and then this next guy I'll play as well. He says that and I'll just play the end of it there. He said, and both of them have problems urinating on themselves at night from the PTSD, from the fear. He says in there, he says, I was special forces trained. He says, but I keep seeing the child come to me in my dreams saying, why did you kill me?
That's
And this
good.
is why they are losing their minds, because you just can't do what you're doing there. And then we'll close out with Naftali Bennett here. Let me pause the mic.
לפני 3 ימים התאבד לנו חייל. אני לפני כמה חודשים הזרקתי לעצמי 3 גרם פנטניל לווריד כי לא יכלתי לסבול יותר. לא יכלתי לראות, אני לא יכול. אני רואה גופות מול העיניים. עכשיו שאני יושב פה בלילה, אני רואה גופות כמו שאני רואה אותך עכשיו. אני רואה את חברים שלי מתפוצצים לי מול העיניים, זיהו את חברים שלי רק על את השיניים שלהם זיהו. אני שהגעתי לפסיכיאטר חצי שעה של אבחון, דחף לי 15 כדורים פסיכיאטריים שהולכים להרדים סוס. טפלו בי! למה אני אמור לצעוק את זה? למה אני אמור לסבול את כל זה? למה אני אמור לנסות להתאבד כל יום? אני נלחמתי למען המדינה המחורבנת הזאת! טפלו בי, טפלו בנו! חייל עכשיו יוצא מעזה!
Netanyahu destroyed not only life of Palestinians and erased them, but
He's destroyed the
his own
soldiers.
soldiers, which, even American soldiers, what they did in Iraq, I didn't know that, but I was reading reports how they killed women, children, and how they raped women.
Yeah.
And that broke my heart because I never thought Americans are capable of this. That, I always looked at United States as such a, brave country full of people who love freedom and are intelligent and kind. And now living here, I am going into this happenings and researching and find out that American soldiers raped innocent Iraqi women and killed children there as well, you know, and then they're coming back with PTSD from war that didn't have to happen.
Yep.
So it's just really terrible, Steve, you
Yes.
know, and
Yes.
yeah.
Let's play this one.
רק לתרום, רק לתת. כל המשפחה שלנו תרמו בצבא. אתם פה בזכותנו. יש לכם עוד משהו להגיד? כי הנתונים שאתם מציגים הם שטויות. שקר. את יודעת את זה ואתה יודע את זה. וגם אתה יודע את זה. כולכם פה, כל המערכת כשלה. יכול לאכול? למה הרגת אותי? אתה יכול להפקד ככה? הוא אומר לי, למה הרגת אותי? למה הרגת אותי? אתה יכול להפקד ככה ביום אחרי שיש לך ימים כאלה? אתה יכול לאכול? אתה יכול בכלל להסתיר? מצאתי את עצמי מחוץ לגולני. למזי. בא לי מזי, מספר ככה איתי התלהמות, מרגמות, הרפיג'ים, מתאבדים, מתפוררים. אומרים לי, נפצעת בגולני, נשמה, לך לגולני, מה אתה רוצה פה? תתקדם, עזוב אותנו. מביאים אותי לעוד יחידה ולעוד יחידה ולעוד יחידה, מתזזים אותי בצבא, ואף אחד לא לוקח אחריות, אף אחד לא מטפל בי! ואני מתלונן, אני צועק, אני משתין בלילה מפוסט טראומה. הוא בא אליי והוא אומר לי, למה הרגת אותי? למה הרגת אותי? אתה יכול להפקד ככה ביום אחרי שיש לך ימים כאלה? אתה יכול לאכול? אתה יכול בכלל להצליח בחיים? ואני הייתי מועמד לטייס, והייתי בפרויקט חבצול של מודיעין, היה לי מוטיב...
The main thing that I wanted to play, I didn't need to really play the entire thing, is just to show they're in the Knesset, by the way, is where they are. And this is only two. There's many more where they're crying out for help because they're so messed up in their minds. You know, the women, they had to pull the women out of the front lines of Gaza almost at the very beginning because they could not handle all the murdering that was going on in this area. One of the guys actually says, we murdered, I think it's him. He says in the beginning, we murdered people for you. He says, I personally have killed 40 people for you.
That's just, no, he will never be normal. That's
No.
first thing. Once you kill children and now they are coming to him in dream, he's pissing at himself and child is asking him,
why did you kill
why
me?
did you kill me? This is not going to stop. This is going to be horrible because once you have murder on you, that's forever, Steve. You know, that takes a lot. So
It does.
he will have to live with that now.
In closing, let's play this one here. They're not going to love us. The aspirations of the world will love Israel. It's not going to happen.
Let's listen to him, what he says.
So we have to build a lot of assets, so they need us a lot. Because I've come to one conclusion, they're not going to love us. The aspiration that the world will love Israel, it's not going to happen. What we need is that our enemies fear us, our friends respect us, and everyone needs us. We tried the love us thing for about 3,000 years, didn't work. So we have to build a lot of assets so they...
So let me ask you this. How does he keep that little head covering?
Super glue.
Super glue?
Yeah, Velcro. I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah. Did you hear what he says? This is Naftali Bennett. And he says, they're not going to love us. We have to have enemies fear us. Friends respect us. Noahide will have to respect them. Okay. And what was the third one?
I was so in awe of listening to the stupidity coming out of his mouth.
But that's how they feel. This is who they are. And we are in a time when they don't hide it anymore and they will just tell you.
And if you notice, people like Naftali Bennett, where they don't have to be on the front lines, they're killing all these innocent little children and women and stuff. They can just smile about it like no big deal, as long as everybody fears them, as long as they have messed up their military.
Everybody will need us. We have to build up our assets.
That's right.
And that's what they're doing. They want to control technology. okay? And money. They want to
Yeah.
control money, and they do. So that's what they want to do. We don't give you bread. We're going to keep you, hungry if you don't respect us. They're going to rule by fear and death and killing and murder. This is, of course, nobody likes people like this. Who likes that? Nobody.
No.
So I still wonder if there is any evangelical Christian left who says, I love Israel, I love Jewish people, I love, maybe they still are. I don't know, Steve, because
Well,
more and more people are speaking up now, and there is this really grand awakening going parallel with their anti-Semitism laws. Yes, they're going to keep passing, because remember, he told you they're going to rule you by fear.
yeah.
They will put fear into you. You anti-Semite, there will be a hate crime. You will go to jail if you speak against them. So that's force. That's how they want to conquer the world, by force. So of course nobody's liking and respecting them, knowing
Yeah.
everything we just showed you.
And when you hear those words, and just in closing here, remember this little girl's voice that you heard today. You heard her voice on that clip of that movie. That was her own voice
And so
as
many
she
other
cried out
children.
in fear.
Yeah. I
Exactly.
mean, it's just countless. Steve, when this war started, I was looking at all the images of all the dead children. And then I listened to doctors. There were Doctors Without Borders that were sent there, and they came back with reports, Steve. And these reports are horrific. And doctors today that they served in Gaza,
Yeah.
they suffer PTSD, and they
Yes.
spoke in front of United Nations. Look at Francesca Albanese. Okay, woman, she's a special rapporteur for Palestinians in United Nations, and she has exposed everything that's going on and tried to persuade the world. She wanted Europe to extend a helping hand and stop this. She wasn't able to. Instead, they're calling her anti-Semite, and Trump forbids her from coming to United States. Okay, so this is, and by the way, Carrie Bowler was actually officially removed. And then Trump, she was asking for Trump to do it because he was the one hiring her. He was the one who hired her. And Trump, no, he just let her go.
No, I spelt it wrong there. But yeah, he wasn't going to do it, for sure. And but yeah, she was officially removed. So, but I don't know. I can't say anything quickly enough about it.
It's
But
okay. I just wanted to mention that because we did speak about her before, and they just let her go, and Trump did not stand for her at all.
yeah, that's a shame too.
Well, how do you expect Trump standing for? Trump is so pro-Israel, Steve. He's a Zionist. There is a rumor that he's a Jew. It was a True News, Rick Wiles, who actually had a show, and he proved that it was an official from White House who told him that he secretly, uh, you know, um, became a Jew. So,
Yeah.
but go ahead. Let's see what she's saying.
A genocidal state that is committing genocide against innocent Palestinians.
Yep.
Yeah. It's wrong. And I reject that. And it feels so free, you guys. I honestly feel so free. I'm no longer in chains.
Yes.
I'm no longer in chains. And you know what? I wasn't. I continue to post and I continue to tell them. And I have the emails to prove it. I have the text to prove it. I have all the receipts. I reached out to many people on the commission and I said, hey, they're trying to silence me for my religious beliefs. What do you think about this?
Yeah. No.
They've brainwashed.
Yeah, that's I so applaud her stand,
Yep.
her courageous stand, because so few people are making the stand that should be made. So anyway, well, we won't hold you guys any longer. We thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your support of this broadcast as well. Substack.com, Yana Substack, especially there. I was there on hers a second ago. Let's see. But substack.com /, Yana Satova, Sutoova. I'll put that in the link for you so you can follow her over there. And thank you again for your kindness. We appreciate it. God bless you and have a good evening.